Traffic is moving well enough as it typically does on a 5 o'clock on a school night, as I'll say, on a Tuesday. The accident happened here around 1:30 on this notoriously busy and congested area of Route 30. This is the same area where Route 30 merges onto Route 222. The accident involved a box truck, 4 cars, and that school bus. In this PennDOT camera video, you can see the large response to these crashes. Manheim Township Fire Rescue and several rollback trucks from Wayne's Towing were on scene, as well as several school buses at one point. Only one bus, though, from Cocalico School District was part of the accident as it was returning to one of the elementary schools after a field trip. Police say the bus had little damage and none of the children were hurt. Other buses came to assist, but they weren't needed, so they were all allowed to leave the scene, but people thought many school buses were involved at one point. 4 cars and the box truck had to be towed away from the highway. The Manheim Township Fire Rescue Deputy Chief says distraction of one driver likely caused all of this chaos. And when the call was dispatched with so many vehicles, initially there was a very large response, and that was by design.
We actually do have plans for accidents like this with so many vehicles and the possibility of a lot of patients. We used that plan today. We call it a mass casualty plan. This was reported to have 5 people involved initially, and that is the first level of a mass casualty plan here in Lancaster County. So enough resources were sent automatically to take care of everybody.
Again, the box truck driver was the only person who was transported to the hospital. So after that initial assessment of the accident scene, some of those mass casualty resources were called off. So thankfully, this wasn't a mass casualty accident, but they were prepared if in fact there was, just with a call of that many vehicles involved. The fire department says using good following distance, not using your device while you're in the car, which is against the law in Pennsylvania to begin with, and following the speed limit are your best bets to keep a chain reaction like this from happening here on one of these highways. In Lancaster County, I'm Meredith Jorgensen, WGAL News 8.
And more breaking news at this hour. The state budget battle has officially moved now to the Pennsylvania Senate. The Democrat-controlled House of Representatives passed the governor's $53.3 billion budget this afternoon, but Republican leadership in the Senate said it will not pass there in its current form. Remember, the GOP has the majority in the Senate, and their disagreements with Democrats on spending led to the budget being 135 days late last year. A few House Republicans did break with their caucus to vote yes alongside Democrats.
Harrisburg police charged a man after police say he beat a woman he knew, what officers refer to as from head to toe. 36-year-old Frederick Jackson of Harrisburg is charged with attempted homicide. According to court documents, Jackson beat the woman multiple times yesterday and also strangled her. Police say the victim has several fractures, swelling, and bruises.
A Cumberland County man is charged with exposing himself at a local business. 39-year-old Robert Sue was charged in connection to the incident March 1st at a business on Market House Lane in Lower Allen Township. A patron at the business called this into police that Sue had showed his genitals at the counter. This is the second indecent exposure case that Sue has been connected to. East Pennsboro police charged him in a similar incident at Penn State Health Holy Spirit Hospital back in January. Tonight, News 8 is taking an in-depth look at the moment former Gettysburg Mayor Chad Allen Carr was arrested in Texas last week.
Set the dog down.
I'm sorry, what?
Set the dog down.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Turn around. Place your hands behind your back.
They've got a warrant for him.
You got anything on you?
This is video that News 8 was first to obtain.
Yeah, News 8's Marcy Walsh has been on this story from the very beginning. She joins us now live in Adams County with what we know thanks to that video. Marcy.
Brian Laurie, a warrant was issued for Carr's arrest, and after an investigation, it determined he had left Gettysburg and went to Texas. So the Adams County Sheriff's Office coordinated with the local authorities down in Anderson County to take Chad into custody.
Hey, we're looking for Chad. Chad? Yes, ma'am.
This is the moment deputies arrested Chad Allen Carr in Palestine, Texas on April 8th. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office sent us this body camera footage where Carr is being arrested in the kitchen of a home.
I'll have you go ahead and set the dog down.
I'm sorry, what?
Set the dog down.
Okay.
Carr is facing additional charges after 3 more people came forward, accusing him of sexual assault and soliciting explicit images. Carr was previously out on bail in Pennsylvania after being arrested back in March for grooming and engaging in sexual video chats with a minor over a decade ago. His lawyer clarified in a statement to News 8 on Thursday. Carr's initial bail conditions did not restrict his travel.
This is a new warrant.
A woman Carr identified as Mom was in the room while he was being put in handcuffs. The sheriff talked to Carr once they were outside.
If you want to tell them, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell your business.
Yes, sir.
You're a grown man.
I understand.
This is between you and them up there.
I understand.
I reached out to Carr's lawyer about the additional charges, and he declined to comment at this time. I also reached out to the court system in Texas, as well as here in Adams County and the Adams County Sheriff's Office, to find out when Carr might be extradited back here to Pennsylvania. I did not hear back from any of them. Live in Gettysburg, I'm Mara C. Walsh, WGAL News 8.
A box truck overturning in Lancaster County, throwing debris across the road. This happened yesterday on Mountjoy Road near Fairview Road in Raffo Township. You can see the truck is split open there. The packages, other items all out of the truck all over the road. It took crews more than 3 hours to clear up that mess. It's not clear what caused the accident and if anyone was hurt.
It may be April on the calendar, but it's looking and feeling like July. A lot of you summer lovers enjoy this, I'm sure. Kayakers were out there on the Susquehanna River in Wrightsville, York County today as we experience another day of 80-degree temperatures.
I bet you they were glad they were on the river, not in the river, because I bet you that water is still cold. Meteorologist Mike Susko, we hear the skies may not clear tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. We could see a couple showers and thunderstorms for parts of the area. In fact, we're already starting to see a few of those here in parts of Franklin County and even Adams County, starting to see a little bit of that rain come down. It's very hit or miss, and we're not seeing anything significant, but you can see that we do have a few of those specks there on the radar. Mifflin County near Lewistown, about to see some of this, but most of the activity at the moment is around Newville there, Shippensburg and Cumberland County, as well as Adams County, Gettysburg, Hanover, and western York County, seeing a little bit of light rain. It was raining in Gettysburg earlier. And then also in Franklin County, see a little bit of showers and thunderstorms moving through. This is very hit or miss, like I said, and that will continue as we go into the evening hours. The good news is, and thing in terms of severe weather, should stay just to our north and west. But in Carlisle, Ephrata, Gettysburg, and Hershey right now, it looks dry. But again, we could see a couple of those scattered showers as we go through the next couple of hours. It's 90 degrees in Gettysburg right now, 86 in York, 84 in Harrisburg, as well as Carlisle, 83 in Lancaster, and 82 up in Lewistown. As we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, you could see those hit-or-miss rain shower and thunderstorm chances continuing until about 10 o'clock tonight, and then we clear out. Another warm night coming our way, and then tomorrow highs in the 80s, and once again a good chance, guys, that we will break the record from 1941, and we don't stop there. We'll show you how long the 80s stick around in a little bit.
All right, Mike, see you in a bit. Firefighters continue to work in the Franklin County portion of the Michoud State Forest. They are currently trying to control a wildfire in the area of Knob Road that first started on Saturday. Officials say it is up to about 70 acres. You're looking at video that was taken last night by the Union Fire Company. No structures are threatened by those flames so far.
New tonight, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro has asked a federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit filed by his personal home's neighbors in Montgomery County over a disputed piece of land. Jeremy and Simone Mock of Abington accused the Shapiro family of illegally using part of their yard and abusing power, while the Shapiros argue that it's a private property dispute that belongs in state court, not federal court. The initial fight came in the months after the firebombing at the governor's residence in Harrisburg, which happened 1 year ago yesterday, with security upgrades proposed around Shapiro's professional and personal life.
The Capitol Rotunda in Harrisburg today covered in white coats as pharmacists and from across the Commonwealth rallied around one issue: potential pharmacy deserts, where people are further away from places to get their medication. About 300 pharmacists, both professionals and students, called for the passage of a new House bill that would regulate pharmacy benefits managers, known as PBMs. They're basically the middlemen in the pharmacy supply chain. The pharmacists claim the greed of the PBMs is the reason for the closure of hundreds of pharmacies over the last few years.
In Pennsylvania, we currently have a network system of PBMs, patchwork system of basically private PBMs that are contracted with the state. What we'd like to do is get that to a single PBM, because right now the money that is being wasted in the system as far as we know, are in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
The group gathered as part of a coalition called Pennsylvanians for Pharmacy Access.